Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Sensitive, apparently, because we already tried to start this once, and I made a little squeak, guys. Like, it wasn't dramatic at all. And Neal was like, oh, we're gonna have to cut that out.
Jokingly.
I can't take a joke. I'm too sensitive. I'm a sensitive gangsta. I'm
People
Jen.
have turned against Amaya.
Isn't that the
Neal.
way it goes?
Yes.
We talk about reality TV. We're in a relationship. I'm from Canada.
You're a teacher.
He's from America.
I'm not a teacher.
This is kind of going to be a reality roundup because I realized last night with our Takeout Friday, McDonald's, we watched the latest to us challenge, right?
Which got super boring again. You weren't engaged with the episode.
Did it get super boring or was I just busy battling?
Reddit didn't care about the episode.
Can I just say something?
The ratings didn't showed that nobody cared about the episode.
Screw anyone who plays Pokemon Go. I'm battling right now, so if my brain seems all over the place, that's why. Neal looked at me and said, are you going to be battling while we podcast? And I said, yes. If you participate, I don't know about the Ultra League and the Unlimited League or whatever it is. I play the Great League, 1500 CP and under. If you don't play Pokemon, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but just please bear with me. Oh, what perfect timing. If you use a Stunfisk, screw you. That's A. B is if you use a Clodsire, go home. I'm mad at you. I'm not having fun against you. You're a wet mop. You're not hurting me. I'm not hurting you. This isn't fun. I like to play Rock'em Sock'em Robots. For those who play Magic, I'm a red player. So that's how I like to approach things in life.
Red deck wins.
This Stunfisk right now, oh, guys. Okay, we need to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yes. We just watched 6 episodes this week in the last 2 days.
If you are not caught up with us, if you have not heard us talking about it so far, we were on vacation for what turned into 3 weeks.
Just about, yeah.
We did not watch new episodes of things while we were gone. We watched a lot of old seasons of stuff, old MasterChef seasons, old Amazing Race seasons while I was sick. Go listen to the other podcast to hear me complain about how sick I was. We watched so much early Amazing Race.
Yeah. A lot of, did you say Hell's Kitchen?
We always watch Hell's Kitchen. That's on Pluto TV. Shout out to Pluto TV, though, for just streaming stuff for free. It probably costs less because you can't burp on the people.
I didn't mean to.
It probably costs less to store it there. I'm going to lose against Obama Snow. Obama Snow? How many syllables did that have? I'm a reading teacher. I should know how to teach reading.
Yeah. You were teaching my niece. Doing a good job.
I was trying. She's a little bit younger than my normal. Usually I'm remediating. I'm not teaching from the beginning. Though remediation can sometimes be teaching from the beginning. Sometimes I am introducing letter sounds. I'm going to burn this Ninetales to the ground.
Okay, so Housewives of Orange County just... Things came to a head.
So we're caught up. Yes. All this to say. Talking about our vacation.
Yes.
Emily, we don't use a cultural New Year to ambush people with lie detectors. A. B. It's someone Emily hired, so big surprise that Emily passed and Gina passed, and no, Emily doesn't talk about Heather in front of her kids, and no, Gina doesn't use Heather for her real estate money. So it just strengthened their friendship, made them look in a good light. LOL at Heather saying she would rather be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and that lying about calling the paparazzi About
Because
not calling the paparazzi.
Because she failed that one. And here's the thing. Katie basked in that, and we'll get to Katie. But Katie basked in that, but that means you believe that the lie detector works. Like, you believe in the science of it. So, when it gets to when it gets to Katie, she walks away from the lie detector person at the end of it, and the lie detector person is alone in the room but still mic'd up and says, "She's so full of shit," seemingly referring to Katie. I made Neal rewind it. Katie couldn't come out of this episode looking worse. We thought she was the early season scapegoat to switch to Tamra. Now Tamra is somehow the one who's mad because she took a Xanax and then got sloshed and was out to lunch when they were out to lunch. Like, she wasn't on their planet, like me right now. But you know what? It's a Saturday night and I'm safely at home. And I'm not getting mad at anyone.
Right.
Tamara gets mad at people. Dang, I just won against Aloha Molola. The fish? The heartfish?
So, yes. Katie lies about... allegedly lied about everything.
We need to start at the beginning. Is it common for teams in football, college football, to score more points than in an NFL game?
Yes.
Why? Because the defense sucks. You're not allowed to protect as hard.
Better teams get better players than play worse teams with worse players.
So it's easier to score points.
Yes. Tennessee is going to get better recruits than Syracuse.
So it's not even a fair fight. But in the NFL, usually it's a fairer fight, would you say?
Yes, because
is that the point?
There's a salary cap. Everyone's getting good players because you only draft the best players from college football.
All right, like, give me the numbers.
255 people get drafted. Then you sign.
In total?
And only once you get to the third round.
Those people aren't even playing?
Third round is like probably a 10% chance that you're going to be a long-term starter or backup.
In the NFL all, or with that team?
In the
at
NFL.
All. That's your
all,
chance. Yes. Whoa.
So, now, like, even first-round picks, it's... Once you get past the top 10, it's probably a crapshoot. There are years where...
So once you're out of the top 10, when you're talking... Neal talks to me a lot about trades. Like, the trades and drafts nights in this home are like sacred, important times of the year.
Right.
It's one of the things that keeps me going. I like to have a telestone. That's not a word. Television milestone. Oh, I made it into a word.
You did make it into a word.
I like to have a television milestone to look forward to. For example, I don't know if this is dark and like you don't have to send like mental health services after me, but like the memes that were like, oh, now I can't off myself because I have to wait for Taylor's new album in October. Like, I feel that. If you need something... Whoa, this is getting into, like, a mental health...
We are going all over the place.
Yeah, I love it, though. If you need to live for something right now, then live for it.
Yeah.
Like, live for your cats right now because they love you and they're worth it.
Live for the Chicago Bears opening night a week from Monday.
Like, I love that that's something that's important to you. Knowing what people live for makes me feel so close to them. So, like, at the risk of turning this into an entirely different podcast, people in the comments, tell me what you live for. Like, let's just be super positive. Like, that's just a really dramatic way of saying, what are you thankful for?
Right.
You're allowed to have external things that keep you going. Whether that's like a pet fish or your mom. You know?
Yeah.
But like, don't give up just because the pet fish dies. That is the one risk with having an external influence like that. Anyway, so we're watching football in the background. We're also talking about mental health. We will pretty much talk about anything here. Mental health I'm actually going to segue and it's going to work.
Is health.
I think Katie needs to leave the show. I think she's in over her head. I think they go on a trip together after this that Katie was willing and wanting to go on. Or wanting is a strong word, probably. And the producers told her no. That she needed to stay home. They actually felt she needed to cool it from these girls. So, like, the fact that everyone is so against Katie, I think she's right. She said, this could be the last time you see me, like, in the same place as these women.
Right.
Which means she sealed her fate on the show.
Yes.
Is she still, like, 20% a scapegoat? Is there stuff she's telling the truth about? Absolutely. So let's rewind. This is a really serious topic of conversation. So honestly, like, trigger warning. And I don't want people to be like, oh, you're being so sensitive. But, like, the Real Housewives of Orange County this season are getting into sensitive topics. As Neal talks about, he doesn't think it's appropriate because he thinks kids should be off limits. Emily is talking about her child's struggle with eating and whether or not he's on the autism spectrum. Heather's storyline is just about real estate again and penthouses, which, you know what, I love. I love that she wants to be with the richer gals.
Like, okay, I have a complaint about
I like
this.
her being the big fish in the small pond, actually.
Not about Heather, about Tamra.
Yes, go ahead.
Like, I find it so disingenuous when people in these shows film part or all or some of their therapy sessions. You're not doing it to get better. That's why I appreciated Shannon talking about her therapy that we don't see, but she still goes to. She just had one quick line.
I know, and it's a crazy line between, like, being performative and actually being so insecure that you feel you need to prove yourself. Tamra does it to be, like, there's a level of desperation to Tamra, I think. And she tries to be really brave and tries to be really big. And she's right, she doesn't know how to process emotions. But it doesn't excuse asshole behavior.
Right.
Pardon my language.
And, like, even we saw it a bunch.
You don't have autism, you're just an asshole.
We saw it a bunch on Vanderpump Rules. Like, no. If you're filming a therapy session, you're not doing it to try and get better.
It's performative.
It's performative. Do I think maybe this is all staged and Tamra actually goes to therapy? That could be.
Oh, I believe she goes to therapy, absolutely.
That makes it 10 times worse.
I agree, actually, because it means you're really not healing or you wouldn't feel like you had to do this. I also, and this is a little bit of shade maybe, no shade to their therapist, but I don't think I would agree to that.
That's why I kind of feel it's like it's fake. And then that brings into question
confidentiality.
Well, no, but the whole...
I'm sure it's breaking a rule for a therapist.
Which is why I don't think
But then
this
obviously
is real.
you're getting Tamara's consent.
Yes. But what kind of broader impact does this have on therapy and getting help?
Does it make it more visible, though? Do they feel like they're doing good? Or does that feed into Tamara's, like, I'm a good person complex even more?
I don't know. I think it's gross. Maybe people probably...
She failed the question, by the way, of were you told, which this is why lie detectors don't work. Were you told that you were on the autism spectrum? First of all, it was worded strangely, the spectrum of autism, like it's some, like, calling card. She said yes, she was told that. That was considered a lie. I find that surprising because I think Tamara truly thinks that her counselor said it. Well, but her counselor did not say it. She said, we've related your struggles, we'll call it, struggles with processing emotions with could that be somewhere on the spectrum, it would be difficult to say without an official diagnosis or like a formal evaluation, which the therapist was not giving in that moment. And if I know my degrees and my master's degrees and my counselor degrees and my accreditations, that therapist might not even be qualified to diagnose that. If she's not a doctor.
I think it's fake.
If it's not a psychiatrist. So it's someone who isn't even under oath. Like, it's definitely not, they haven't taken the Hippocratic Oath. Because also, you can't with good conscience air that. Sorry.
Tamara pissed me off also. I'm gonna say, just again going broad, the whole lie detector thing was all fake too.
100%.
It was not in a controlled environment. You probably, like, it's just...
Aren't you supposed to have, like, a third party reading the questions or something?
Usually, I would think you'd have the person monitoring it and then the person asking the questions. Yes, so that the person monitoring just monitors.
Your only job. Now, I'm sure someone trained in it, whether or not you believe in it, whether or not it does work, someone trained in it probably could do both at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, we saw that they did.
These people were trained in it, but it...
Oh, yeah, I don't think they were literally, like, actors Emily hired, I hope, or production hired. If that's the case, then we've gone too far. I at least want Emily to have genuinely tried it. And Emily is a lawyer, so, like, she probably knows people. Whether they believe in it or not when they go to bed at night. He said it right. He's like, this is a 100% legitimate machine that measures body reaction.
Yes.
Like, it truly does measure the moisture in your hands and your heart and your breathing rate and your heart rate.
I also think the fact that they got the one saying this is bullshit or she's full of shit, wildly unprofessional, and probably would get her fired after that played on television. If she's not
like an independent contractor.
Yeah, like
anyway.
that also makes me think it's fake. No, like, you think the guy would say that? There's no way. He was incredibly professional.
Yes, talk about a controlled environment. He tried to create one.
Yes, so...
Did they all screw up? Did Katie screw up on purpose, like break a bunch of the rules? Or was that because she was nervous? Like, she talked in between the questions. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, and most of them did. And it's like, I think you'd have to redo it to really get confident answers.
But that's what's crazy to me is that Katie faces us in her confessional and says, I'll do it again. She's so full of talk when she's not in that moment.
Yeah.
She appeared so nervous to me to do that test. Now, whether that was because she felt outnumbered, she felt ganged up on, she knows the truth. Here, we still haven't gotten to the issue. The rumor is out that Gretchen accused Tamra of roofing her at one of their past parties. Now, it's bad enough, and I said this to Neal, it's bad enough that there's a flashback to the naked wasted party where Tamra makes a comment like, oh, we're going to get Gretchen naked and wasted, referencing the party, that maybe implies they put something in her drink. That's a huge accusation.
Also, she answered a question, but we saw footage of her saying the opposite of what she answered, and the woman said she was being truthful. So that didn't make sense.
Gretchen got hers all right. I actually think she's a sociopath and fooled the lie detector. Because I don't think for 1 second she did not at that dinner. So, again, the issue is, how did this rumor come out? Did Gretchen... First of all, Gretchen and Tamara have now hated each other for 7 years. So if Gretchen really said it, or really felt that, or went to the hospital and had proof that she had been drugged, why would she sit on that for 17 years instead of taking Tamara down? So immediately, Tamara believes Gretchen and says, okay, Gretchen, I don't think you are going around telling people that. I think Katie made this up. No. there can be a version of events where Gretchen really told them this at dinner, really said, after the naked wasted party, I felt like I was drugged, so I went to the hospital. Which is even what she says to Tamara later. She whispers, tries not to get it on the mic, because again, this is a sensitive topic, and says, I did go to the hospital the next morning. I was just so sick.
So was she lying then, or was she lying about not going to the hospital?
Right? So to me, either way, Gretchen is a liar. So the fact that she passed every single question makes me feel like we can't judge her results. I think she did say she went to the hospital. So did she or didn't she? Exactly. It's so confusing. Katie is identified as lying about everything.
Which I have questions about that, because she's so anxious that if you're in that state, your heart is going to be beating.
Now,
so what is the disruption that is seen in the test?
But that's also not us not understanding how lie detectors work. Because first of all, Emily obviously tells the dark-haired girl that they're anti-Katie. So really, Katie should have been interviewed by the man, because I think he would have stayed more objective. The dark-haired one from the beginning is like, well, we don't measure anxiety.
Right.
Like, that's not what this is. Okay, well, now you're making me feel worse. Now I'm even more sweaty and anxious. I think that, as someone who doesn't understand them, I think I would fail 100% of a polygraph.
Right.
And to me, that's how anxious Katie looked. But then I'm looking one step past that and saying, why was she that anxious? When the woman was reading the results, and she did it really cool, because obviously it wouldn't be a controlled environment if everyone looked on while everyone else was answering. So she stood up with the questions and got them to give their answer to get everyone's reaction, and then said whether it was they passed or failed that question with their answer. I think that was a cool way to present it. Again, totally for show. Like, totally you sold your soul to do polygraphs on the Dr. Phil show. Like, that kind of vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope they
protect Katie's mental health.
Well, yes, of course. But I hope in the reunion they call out Gretchen if they don't moving forward, because she seems like she is lying like crazy.
She is so excited to have friends who are against Tamra. You know she told that story. You know Slade hinted at it there. And allegedly now, as this episode ends and Katie is leaving, she's speaking to the producers. So we're breaking the fourth wall. She's saying, I am telling the truth that Gretchen told me that at dinner. And I'm also mad at Jen because Jen heard it. And Gretchen says, no, I might have said I felt so sick I should have gone to the hospital. And Jen's like, yeah, that's what I heard. Jen, you either don't remember or you don't remember. You can remember Gretchen. I think Jen's lying too.
Oh, 100%.
So is Katie, listen, did Katie take that piece of information and 100% run to Kiki, what's her name?
Kiki Monet or whatever, Kiki Monique.
Here's the thing. I genuinely think Katie is naive and is like a mean high school girl, like an insecure high school girl, feels like these bloggers and reporters are her friends because she is in that world. She's like a golf commentator, and sits down with them and tells them things she shouldn't. Do I hope secretly, evilly, some part of her is hoping that the bloggers will run with it? Of course, if it makes her look better. And that's what makes her a narcissist. But she's she's very insecure for a narcissist. And that's the meanest thing I'll say about Katie. I also think we need to give her some grace. I do think there's been a phone conversation between Slade and Matt and Ryan of, oh, don't talk about what Gretchen said. Don't say that Gretchen said it. Why? So Katie has to take the full fall? Gretchen's bad. Tamara's bad. Heather would rather be in Beverly Hills.
She's barely been a part of this season.
Gina, I know you annoy most people, but I am really rooting for your success. Emily, I think you and Sean, is his name Sean? No, his name is Shane. You and Shane need to meet in the middle. I think you need him to outwardly care more, and I think your whole family needs you to breathe. And I don't say that condescendingly, but like Emily, I was going to say Amy. I'm getting all their names wrong. Emily needs to find some calm and know that it's going to be okay. And Shane needs to not expect his kids to just, brush it off, but then also be like, we're going to meet them where they are, like, whatever happens, happens. No, you need to care a little bit more, but Emily needs to care a little bit less. So that's my advice for them. Ooh, see? If I was a reputable counselor, I wouldn't be giving advice right now. Counselors aren't supposed to give advice. I'm not a counselor, by the way, so this actually doesn't get me in trouble.
Yeah. So that's basically it. Katie's probably done for her short career.
Well, like I said, they're really like, you're not going.
But here's the thing.
On this trip.
Get rid of her. It becomes boring again.
Yeah, because the thing is, Jen is still behind her. So she fuels the Jen and Tamra fight. And then there's the Shannon going to one of them and saying, you better not roll over on me. As in, like, you better not, she said that to Jen, right? Like, you better not reunite with Tamra and leave me on the other side of this. They're so cliquey. So cliquey. And this is what I was going to say. This is almost why we need their therapy sessions, which I find them uncomfortable to watch too. I wish they didn't exist. Because we hear their inner thoughts. Do we need that, though, when we have a confessional, A? And B, if this is supposed to be about housewives who are friends, like, sit them down with each other and have them express these feelings in a conversation at a restaurant. Or blow up at each other again. We don't need the therapy sessions.
Yeah.
If you're doing a good job with the show, there should be enough close friendships. Like, I feel like Emily and Gina actually enjoy each other. Like, when they were laying down together and they were both FaceTiming Shane. I know a lot of people don't like Gina. A lot of people don't like Emily. I thought that was so cute.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing faith in this group.
Are you? I think that's the
Shannon's boring.
Consensus.
Heather's boring.
We barely see them.
I don't want to know about Emily's storyline.
Right.
Gina's boring.
Yeah. She could keep climbing where she's climbing without doing
It's really just Tamra, Gretchen, and Katie, and
like Gretchen's
Jen.
new.
Those four are like carrying this season.
And like Tamra was gone.
And Tamra should, like, again, for her mental health, she shouldn't be on the show.
I agree. And I know she's going through a lot, but she expects grace from everyone, gives no one grace, and really is a professional victim.
I just thought of it. In this show, everybody overshares. And in Beverly Hills,
no one tells you anything.
No one tells you anything.
And Garcelle's like, what are you talking about? This is my life. I'm telling you my deepest stuff. And then Erica says, well, then I guess I wish you were more interesting. That's fair.
Garcelle's not even on the show anymore.
And she basically left because of that comment. But that's the thing. If you're not entertaining me and this show is about watching the lives of people, find someone with a more interesting life. That's why, like it or not, what's her name? From Salt Lake City, Bronwyn?
Yeah.
She works. As long as she wants to stay around, they're going to keep her around. That season starts, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City starts September 16th, by the way.
And I
just
like
saw a trailer
Stephanie
for it.
from Miami.
She's another good example of a new person being brought in. Miami is a great example that I think this season is good. That was full on canceled. They brought it back and brought back mostly the same people and have introduced some people. I'm sorry, I didn't always feel this way. But if we're talking Miami, I think Julia needs to go. I also think her wife has some opinions about like the rights of people that generally people would find appalling.
Julia, which one?
She is the model, the French, no, the
She's
Russian
married
model,
to...
the tennis player. I think you would be very surprised if you saw the tennis player's tweets. I will just say she gets along well with J.K. Rowling.
Okay, yeah.
Enough said. I also think Adriana is a truly hateful person. Like when she gets drunk, she spews the meanest things out of her mouth. Marisol was just under attack for like a full 5-minute barrage.
I think we covered that, actually.
We did.
For bony knees.
Bony knees. Truly like verbal assault. That's what the preview of Salt Lake City looks like it's going to be like. Lisa's going to look at Bronwyn and say, you need to go back to school. And Bronwyn's going to say, you need to go back to work so you can pay for all your lawsuits.
Dang.
Whoa.
It's more fun when the drama are the girls going at each other. Like we're Miami with Stephanie going at the one for Lisa for constantly being late.
Yes, that's more fun.
Yes.
Just actually hate someone for something that's wrong with them. Like, in this one, Shannon was 20 minutes late for the boat ride in the bayou and Gina's New Orleans trip, and they were all, like, beyond angry at her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you actually wouldn't be able to film with Lisa.
No.
Because Lisa puts everyone behind by 2 hours. Cue the clip that they play every time where she shows up for the reunion, like 2 hours late, and she like walks in slowly like everyone's going to say hi and greet her. And Andy's like, this isn't a meet and greet. Sit down. We're all annoyed. And I'm like, yes, Andy. You tell her. Because you're Andy Cohen and you can be mad that you were held up. Well, guess what? So is Stephanie. That's what makes it so good.
Yeah. Now we'll do it quickly about the challenge.
No, I think it needs to be a separate episode.
But there's not enough
How much time have we talked
32
about?
32 minutes.
No, we can't talk about the challenge now because I can't remember
It
it.
was boring.
We'll find enough to talk about.
Okay.
Don't you talk about it.
Well, we're gonna I'm gonna complain and bring up a lot about.
Should we talk about Miami?
Reddit? Lisa's late all the time.
That's basically all that happened. Larsa and Lisa are still completely not talking. Who else was super hateful? Someone pulled an Adriana. That just like spewed mean stuff. Right?
I'm trying to think who's in the cast.
Gertie?
I don't think
Gertie did some crazy stuff before we left, like reading texts on a projector.
She's fine. Her and Julie are best friends. Or
they're fake fine, I think. Okay. I think they're on unstable ground, but I think they're cordial with each other. Marisol and Adriana are somehow okay again. Everyone's really okay again except Lisa and Larsa. And now the thing we're ending on is that Jody, so Lisa's boyfriend, is like texting Larsa. Because, of course, when Lisa gets in a fight, she calls her boyfriend, whatever he is. It is not appropriate to reach out and text the other friend.
No. It's...
Weird. Weird move, Jody.
He is... There's a lot of stuff about him that they talk about. Like, he just...
I believe he's a hanger-oner.
He's always there.
Right. Why do you have to be involved with everything?
And, yeah, like, every confessional, he's there.
Oh, back to OC, I feel really bad for Jen and Ryan if what they're portraying is true, which we've talked about this before, in that, like, the brother, like the younger brother co-signed a student loan and like stuff that parents should be doing, stuff that the father, so Will, Jen's ex, should be doing, he's not doing. If that's true, I know Ryan is fame hungry. I think I've said this on a podcast before. I think he's the type who would rather be famous than rich. Like, he would rather look like he has it all than have it all. But I do think he takes his, like, fatherhood seriously. So, like, I would have liked to have seen the conversation between Ryan and Will. Like, I don't mind that stuff. I don't mind the stuff that's affecting their real lives. Like, if Erica's gonna come back, she better tell us about the lawsuit. Now I'm talking Beverly Hills.
Yeah, we're going through the whole...
Like, how do you feel about that?
To
not address it is disingenuous, right? You just said everyone else puts their life on the line, but we're gonna get you decorating the rental house. That's what your storyline is going to be for 2 seasons? A house you don't even own?
I'll share my Erica thoughts when we get to their season. I think she... Yeah.
You think she's a bad person. We've talked about this before.
Yes, I think she...
You think there's information about out there that makes her irredeemable.
Yes, I think she took advantage of situations...
Because you can't portray yourself to be smarter than you seem and then pretend to be dumber than you seem.
Right.
It's one or the other. And I think she's smarter than she wants us to remember. Or does she just put that on? Is that just an air of confidence? Because she was obviously actually very submissive to him. I think he was very controlling. Of course, he was the one in power. Hello?
And then she finally got a taste of that power when he slowed down.
Oh, I'm sure to some extent. She's probably, like, not to judge a book by its cover, but her and her mother seem like they could be the type of people who'd maybe take advantage of someone.
Right.
Now I'm judging a book by its cover.
I think...
They're the archetypes, they're the caricatures of, like, the Southern woman who pushes up her bra. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Taylor Swift's song Cowboy Like Me. If you get it, you get it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Taylor sang about it.
I think it would be gross of the show if they didn't cover it.
And still had her on. Right. Either fire her or force her to talk about it, or we don't want to see the storyline.
Right. And as for Ryan and
Jen,
I think if you're gonna... Like, I don't exactly remember what they said. Is he not paying child... Or he owes her a bunch of money that he has...
Like a $200,000 lump sum settlement,
So then take him to court.
He doesn't have the money. What are you supposed to do when the person literally cannot produce it?
Then take him to court, and when he does produce it, they garnish his wages.
I guess he doesn't have wages right now.
Well,
I guess he's bankrupt.
That... She did
or pretending to be bankrupt so that he doesn't have to pay her.
If they were complaining about it to complain about it, that's one thing, and he can't pay. But if, like, I feel like Ryan would want to go to the court to make sure if he can eventually pay for it, that she would get her money.
Well, he argues that, like, oh, I pay for the kids' tuition, or I pay this, or I pay this. And it's like, yeah, but... Like, by the court of law, you're choosing to pay that. You've also been ordered this lump sum and also child support. So she's still owed, like, backdated child support and a lump, like, settlement sum.
Okay, well...
That's crazy. To just not get it because someone's poor?
Like you said, if they don't have it... I mean, unless they compel him to sell... Like his house or...
Here's something... Okay. I think in North America in general, is it fair to say that we have like a bit of a deadbeat dad problem?
I don't think we want to go in this direction.
Okay, but it's to make a point.
To make the point, I'll say sure.
My point is just that I think we have thousands of people not paying, and no one who can do anything about it. Like, you're like, oh, take him to court, take him to court. But I just really think, do I think Jen and Ryan could even afford to take him to court right now? Can they afford the lawyer fees when they're just trying to keep their heads above water, caring for all the children? That's most people's reality, I think, is my point.
I think there's a big difference in what can be done about it depending on the person.
Okay, this was the point I was going to get at. It's actually an excellent point. It's so much better than the point I could remember. I'm from somewhere in Canada. I will leave it at that. In Canada, trades are really popular. So it's not uncommon to move somewhere, like to do with oil, some like campsite that deals with oil. I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about it. I'm not in that world. You could probably go there, like say it's only a summer thing. Oh, it's only the 4 months over the summer. You go there for the 4 months. You make, say, I'm just going to do random estimates because I have no idea. You make $150,000.
Okay.
Now, for, say, 6 months. 6 months' work. You make $150,000. Now you come home. You decide to divorce your wife. Now you're home. So you're trying to claim, then maybe you claim like employment insurance, right? Which would be, I have not claimed that in a very long time, so I have no concept. Maybe $900, like $1,000 every 2 weeks, $2,000 a month. So you claim before the courts that, well, look, I make $2,000 a month. So I make $24,000 a year. So my child support payment should only be $50 a month. But they say, show me your taxes. How much have you paid in the past year? Or how much have you made? How much money, income have you made in the past year? And then they get it. And it's like, but they've lied on their taxes. I'm making a really long story.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Let's say they lied on their taxes, okay? And even their taxes say they only made $30,000 this year. Won't the child support people be like, let us see your bank statements. Like, can we see your assets? I'm asking you if that's the case.
I have no idea. I'm sure.
Because, like, what if this ex-husband has lots of assets?
I'm sure.
Would they be like, you're expected to pay more?
They would expect you in a child support case to say, okay, what's your salary? Yes, what's your net worth? What are your assets? I mean, the biggest thing is if you're working or not. And that's...
I just know exactly. I know husbands who say, well, I'm not working right now, so I can't afford to pay much. Okay, but you just quit a job where you were making $200,000 a year. So that, according to the law, if you and your family just broke up, that's the life your children are accustomed to. So doesn't child support take into account, like...
Yes,
this
standard of... Yes,
what you're used to.
But also...
And for spousal as well, if your wife was a stay-at-home mom, which Jen was, she should have had better lawyers, because she should have had someone fighting for her saying she's going to take these 4 kids or however many they have.
But you just told me he has no money, so that wouldn't matter anyway.
Right, true.
It's like, here's a good example. 2 examples. Kevin Costner's wife.
Okay.
When they got divorced, she was asking for some outrageous, like, $3 million a month because her standard of living was so high with him because he was a movie star. I'm
going to interject and say, if you want a reality TV show version of this, not to, like, blow someone's personal life up, but since last week's episode of The Challenge did well, look up all the different types of support CT's ex-wife, when they were going through their divorce, allegedly tried to get from him. Like, she wanted him to pay for her schooling because she said, well, I'm not trained, so you need to pay for me to go to school so that I can get a job that will provide me with the level of lifestyle you can provide me now as a reality TV star personality. And he probably did have to show stuff. And even though he's an independent contractor with MTV, I bet they found a way to find all his money, all his winnings. Well, because it's all taxed.
Right.
And then if you haven't paid your taxes, now we're in a different story. Now we're talking about, allegedly, hey, Ryan, why was the FBI raiding your house? Tamara's like, oops, I said that and it wasn't true. I shouldn't have said that, tee-hee. But then bought an FBI hat. Like, Tamara is bipolar. And at the very least, I'm not allowed to diagnose that. She needs to get medicated for that and see if it improves her life. Period. She has a lot more depressive episodes than manic episodes, but she has both. And she needs help. The end.
The end.
Guys, I don't know. Real Housewives are doing it for me this season. I think, and I say this all the time, there should be at least one season of Real Housewives playing at all times. 2, ideally. 2 at all times. Right now, having Orange County and Miami is delicious. Nom 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 nom. Okay, guys, we're gonna go watch football not on mute. Or like, I'll tell you what we've been rewatching later. Please go watch our Devil's Plan episodes. If you want to know where we've been, go watch our weird rambles. And as always, thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe, and I love you. Bye.
Bye.